People are like, oh, it's Web3, it's all different. Like, no, like human beings are still the same. And the way we do business with each other, the way we interact with each other, that's not going to change. Today we are going to talk about 3 simple steps to getting a job in Web3 guaranteed. So right now there are a lot of people, a lot of funding that's going into Web3 companies, and people are hiring a bunch and people want to jump into this opportunity. A lot of people are building in the space. There's still a lot of excitement even in a bear market as of this recording. But there are a couple core things. People often come to me, they're looking to hire people, and then people are even looking to hire the ad agency that I have, which is called Single Grain. I just want to share some of the conversations that I've been having, some of the data, and that way you can then get a job guaranteed in Web3. But first and foremost, my name is Eric Su, creator of Leveling Up Heroes, which is a marketing NFT designed to help you level up in marketing. So step number one by far, the thing I get the most is, hey Eric, we want to work with people that understand Web3 but have Web 2 professionalism, so kind of like a Web 2.5, right? They want kind of the best of both worlds. And so what does that mean exactly? A lot of people are throwing this word around, professionalism, whatever. Professionalism is very simple. There's actually a book called The Ideal Team Player that was written by Patrick Lencioni. And this book, the great thing about it is it outlined 3 key traits that you need from an ideal team player. So I recommend reading the book. It's a fable, and the story will kind of help you remember what the 3 traits are. But the 3 traits that you're looking for are, you want someone that's humble, you want someone that's hungry, and you want someone that's smart, right? And smart could mean EQ, that can mean IQ as well. So IQ is intelligence, right? But EQ is also emotional intelligence, how you work with other people. Hungry is obviously you have to have the energy, right? Willing to push really hard, because most people, they don't want to work hard. Most people want to chill, right? Sad to say that. Most people, unfortunately, they're probably smart on one, but not necessarily on the other. So you're really looking for someone that has all these traits, right? And then the humility part is arguably the most important, because you want someone that's going to think about other people more. They're going to think about themselves less, and they're going to be a person of high integrity. Humble people, that's how they are. They're often thinking about how they can be helpful to other people, and they know that whatever they deliver, they're going to get back at the end of the day. And so that's what we look for when we're hiring people. But when other people are hiring, I mean, these are the things that they want, right? Warren Buffett, the famed investor, talks about people that he looks for. He's looking for intelligence, he's looking for integrity, and he's looking for energy, right? But it's the same thing: humble, hungry, smart. And that's what you're looking for. But what I'm seeing people fail at in Web3 right now is people, they don't want to show up on time, right? It's very basic. It's showing up on time, like respecting other people's time, that's huge, right? Showing up on time, it's that's half the battle right there. Doing what that you said that you would do, right? Actually delivering on the work that you promised that you would do. And again, being a person of integrity, there's so much short-termism in the space right now, which means there's a lot of opportunity for people that have the professionalism to step in, right? And so this seems like such a small thing, but it's actually really big, because it's lacking so much. People are like, oh, it's Web3, it's all different. Like, no, like human beings are still the same, and the way we do business with each other, the way we interact with each other, that's not going to change, right?
That's right.
Like, sure, the technology, the way we do things from a technological standpoint, that might change a little bit. But, the way we want to do business with each other, the way we want to build teams, that's not going to change, right? That's been set in stone, and we shouldn't try to necessarily change everything out there. So that's number 1. Now, number 2 is, if you're saying, hey, Eric, I don't have any experience in this space right now, well, think about what you're actually world-class at, right? So if you're going to look for a job, think about what you're really good at. And if you're starting out in your career right now, think about what actually gives you energy and what you're good at, right? That's eventually going to be the intersection of, and ideally it's something that other people want, so you can make money doing it. But then if you don't have any experience, you can work for free, right? So I have we had a guy that worked for us a couple years ago, and what he did was he actually wrote an 8,000 word blog post. And this guy went to a good school, went to Michigan, wrote an 8,000 word blog post telling us what he would do with our content, what he would do with our blog. And it was clear that this person thought through everything and was very tactical, was very clear with his writing. And he did the legwork. It wasn't just like he, click submit for a resume. He did the legwork. He did the research. He stood out. And that guy worked for us for a little bit. Guess what? He's now the director of brand strategy for Gary Vaynerchuk, right? His name's Vragov.
Congratulations!
And he's great, right? But like, that's what it takes to stand out. Like, when you're willing to go the extra mile, when you're willing to kind of work for free like that, and then he's like, hey, like, I'll even help work for free initially. Like, when you have people that will reach out and they're gonna do a blog post, or they're gonna give some recommendations on what they would change about your website, like what they would do with your website, it shows how they think, it shows how they articulate, it shows how they write in general. And when you're able to do that, it just makes it a lot easier for the hiring manager, right? It's not like they have to sift through a bunch of resumes, because that's what everyone is used to doing. So going the extra mile, doing the research, presenting something to them shows that you deserve to stand out from the rest. And then you could offer to work for free for a little bit and saying, hey, like, I'm gonna work for free for maybe a month or so, but I want to come to the table and I want to negotiate at the end of the month. Maybe I want to be able to share my work, or I want to be able to negotiate some type of job. How does that sound, right? And let's say at that point, it sounds good. Because they're saying, hey, like, in the beginning, you don't have any experience, why should I work with you? Now, when you build that experience, then it's much easier for you. Just apply to places and then just say, hey, like, these are the 3 things that I would do for you out the gate. That is going to stand out from the rest, right? That's actually going the extra mile. That's actually being hungry. Number 3 is building your network. And so we all start with nothing in terms of our network, right? Some of us might be, have a little bit of a slight edge over other people initially, maybe due to family and friends, contacts that people would share. But I started with nothing originally. I would go to networking events and, initially it was very awkward, didn't know what to do at those events. And then eventually I got better. And then eventually I started speaking in front of people, maybe like 15, 20 people first. And I got better and better over time. You're going to get better. And then you're going to realize what you're actually good at when it comes to networking. For me, I like throwing dinners. I like throwing intimate dinners. I like connecting people. I like having very high level people just, breaking bread together. And I like throwing little events as well. I like throwing little happy hours. And then other than that, I just like attending other events, right? And then just talking to people and then figuring out what help they need and just trying to be helpful at the end of the day. But when you go to these Web3 events, whether it's like a consensus or whether it's like an NFT NYC, talking to people and saying, hey, like, where are you guys going? What are the satellite events? And maybe not trying to over plan too much and just letting the events take you where they may. But the magic is especially in the very early days of a new industry, the magic is in the events. The magic is in these in-person connections, right? And I'm an introvert myself, but I made it work for myself in terms of networking for introverts, right? And maybe that's for another video. And by the way, if you're enjoying this so far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Help this grow. And what else can I say? I mean, look into when you're networking with other people, or you're looking to just, again, being interested in instead of trying to be interesting, being interested in what they're doing. Like, what are you excited about right now? What are you working on right now? And then trying to connect the dots, right? And then you can be that dot connector, and then your network's just going to grow that way. And just understanding that your goal is not to keep score when you're making these connections. Your goal is just to keep doing it, keep facilitating, keep passing the ball, and eventually it's all going to come back to you. I guarantee it. And final thing I'll say in terms of opportunity, we're actually hiring over at Single Grain in terms of Web3, let's say community managers, PR people, influencer managers, also Web3 developers as well. So you can go to singlegrain.com/careers, or if you're not one of those roles but you want to work in Web3, you can DM me on Twitter or Instagram at EricOSIU, S as in sugar, IU, and just tell me, like, what are you world class at? But more importantly, send me links to your portfolio so I can very quickly look at what you're good at. Because then I don't need to like ask a bunch of questions. Like, you want to make it very easy for me to kind of think about this, right? And then I can figure out how to help if I'm able to help. That is it for this video. Let me know what jobs you're interested in the world of Web3. Type it in the comments, and maybe you can leave some info on your portfolio, and maybe other people can see it in this video. So that is it for today, and we'll catch you later.